day activity centre for adults with physical disabilities. The majority of the people here would be people with an acquired disability, to be over 50 years of age. People after a stroke or people with multiple sclerosis would be the majority of the people that attend. The art class at the moment is facilitated by Jim Cart. He comes from Dundrum Dunleary Education and Training Board. So he was the guy that was inspirational with the art project and the accessibility logo. Anne Conlon, one of the staff members, she was the girl that came up basically with the idea after a lot of brainstorming with the clients.
Everyone was actually a little down coming back this year because the previous year we'd been out outside the dog for marches for the UNCRPD. We came up with the idea of, look, okay, things are down, but let's try be positive and do something positive this year instead of focusing on all the things that are negative out there at the moment around disability and what they were fighting for. Let's try do something. I came across the wheelchair symbol, and there was a definition on what the symbol meant. I always associated it with, and I think most people do, that you have to be in a wheelchair to use the parking spaces, to use the toilets, to access buildings or whatever. When you seen that sign, I automatically assumed it was for a wheelchair, but didn't realise that it actually was accessibility for any disability, all the hidden disabilities and the whole lot. But that sign actually isn't saying that. It needs improvement. And our group, we decided to take that project on. Stage one was conversations on what to do. And an idea popped up, and it was to come up with a new logo.
We sat down and talked about our feelings and what feelings it brought. It gave everyone.
To be honest, I hadn't thought about something that I needed to use a disability toilet. Never struck me. Always was concerned about people with wheelchairs needed. But it really opened my eyes up to what other people needed. Disability is all sorts of disability, and you can't see a lot of them.
And I think it gave us a chance to speak about our individual disabilities.
And our feelings as well.
And the difficulties that we face. Literally accessing a decent, clean, accessible toilet that meets everybody's needs.
Accessibility to toilets seemed to be a big thing within the group. They were all having problems. People who have non-visual disabilities, unseen disabilities, were having problems when they came out of the toilet of people coming up and saying, you don't have a disability, why are you using that toilet?
I didn't know some of the obstacles they had. I didn't see them personally. I didn't see, like, I can go shopping, I can go anywhere, I have freedom. And like, they had to come back down because of human rights and being fed. And like, you can tell someone they're entitled to something, but it doesn't mean they get it automatically. You have to fight for it. And when you're not well and have to fight for simple things like that we're used to, that's hard. But yeah, they come in here every week because that's the fight they have.
I remember once I came out, someone gave out to me for using a wheelchair toilet and explained that I had MS. And it's because I can walk, because I can walk doesn't mean I've got an illness. I remember that. They were saying that because I could still walk, but you need to use wheelchair or rollator.
For a normal person, in inverted commas, a normal person, to have to think first if they're going somewhere, you know, whether it's concert, anywhere, restaurant, can I use the bathroom? I don't think any able-bodied person thinks about that. You know, they why would they have to? But it's one of the first things that comes into everybody's mind that has a disability. Is there an accessible toilet?
These were the things that were spoken about during the project. Do you know what I mean? That's what was amazing, because they had a voice. They had a voice that nobody interrupted while they were here doing that project. They had a voice that nobody was judgmental on while they were doing the project.
The old logo needed to be updated I mean, the old logo was instantly recognisable, I would imagine, worldwide, but it really meant, well, in my opinion anyhow, that it was, where it was on a door, that doorway was accessible for a wheelchair. But as I learnt now, not everybody who has a disability uses a wheelchair. There's quite a few people who have hidden disabilities, and they would still need to use a toilet that was large enough to facilitate a wheelchair for their own needs. So that's why I thought it needed to be updated.
From stage 1 of the brainstorming, we went into stage 2, which would be putting the ideas they had down on paper.
Well, we done it individual first, and then we joined all the bits and pieces we had and thinking things out and scribbling them down.
I did that one originally. It was a star,
There's another one.
and then I had a banana shape and all different sections of what, people with disabilities, because we all have a disability, whether it's physical or not.
Like there was 2 sayings. There was one, we're all in the same boat, and the other one was, we're all under one umbrella. And that was the one that stuck with most of them, so umbrella was accepted. So for stage 3, we were putting the umbrella together.
I went to put together a presentation to introduce to them as many different styles of art and artists and different media that I could think of, to allow them to use their imagination, to use the pictures that I found, the styles that I found, the artists that I found as a jumping off point, something to kickstart their own imagination.
We looked at abstract, looked at various different art types and picked on abstract because of the design of an umbrella. We could colour panels. So that's what we did, we coloured individual panels.
We decided to use this size of paper. We put 15 together to make one piece of it, and that is why you got that. The idea was to include everybody because everybody participated in painting that.
Stage 4 was the different symbols for the different disabilities was what we wanted to incorporate onto the umbrella. So we chose the ones that represented the people in Forhouse.
Everybody was into the project in a big way, seeing how it was turning out. It was taking shape good up, but it seemed to be lacking it seemed to be lacking a little bit. It was just a coloured umbrella as such. And then it went back to a kind of brainstorming again as to what was going to make it more personal to the people that were doing it, because this had produced everybody working together and everybody having an input into it.
The logos that I picked were the ones that represented the disabilities we have in our centre, which are MS, blindness, stroke, brain injury, pain and mobility disability. Our teacher, Jim Cackard, told us that there are 2 sides to the umbrella. The sides that we can see and the sides that we cannot see. Well, on the other side you'd see the hidden disabilities, such as mental health, intellectual disabilities and social disabilities.
We were trying to figure out what would be the best colour or colours to use for this logo. And we had a discussion, and it turned out we said we'd have the blue, the same blue as the United Nations use for peacekeeping purposes,
These are the kind of tiles we used. We coated them with white paint.
It kind of started off, you could say, like a jigsaw puzzle, and you put the little tile at the bottom, and they were it was nearly all white, and there was one little circle of blue, and then come on to the second row of tiles, and the image of the wheelchair was appearing, and then you come on to the top, and then the pieces of the umbrella started materialising, and by the time all the little pieces fitted in, we had the shape of the umbrella. I think it was a great feeling for everybody because all their little piece of artwork had assembled to become part of the jigsaw.
So it went then from the printing stage of the symbols in the umbrella to taking the colour blue and white and assembling 15 boards with the different symbols from the old logo up into the new umbrella with all the symbols from this centre. Because there is a ribbon on the umbrella. And when we checked out the internet, the ribbon gave us something that we might be able to share with CRC, which would be towards the fundraising end of things.
Well, this is the physical side of the project, and it gave us the birth of the pins, which we found the pins by searching the internet, and we came across burglary, which was for the disability, for adults' disability. So we just took it and we went with it, and that is how we created the pin. And
we chose the ribbons because people could wear them, and for awareness and fundraising, awareness of disability and fundraising.
I thought the keyring was a good idea for fundraising.
This project did bring everybody into the one group, into the one room, without people saying, I don't like that music, or I don't paint, I'd rather do poetry. Everybody, every Wednesday, basically did get involved. So I think it was, in the 2 years I've nearly been here, it's probably the only project that I can safely say everybody got involved with every day that art was on.
It was daunting at the start, but so enjoyable, tiring, enthusiastic one week, you'd be down the following week, but it was a journey of learning for myself, for those learning about each other, a sharing process. There's so many words I could use, happiness, capability, every word I think that's to do with learning went into the logo we have chosen.
When Jim came, we were doing it on the 15 panels, and Jim came to unveil on the day, and we came across this. It was like Christmas, and opening your presents, when you were a child, and opening the corner of it and seeing it and going, wow, and we were waiting, come on Jim, take it off, give us a look. And then we ended up with this. Well, everybody's mouth and jaw dropped and went, whoa, wow. I was absolutely gobsmacked.
The staff and the clients have put in a huge effort to get this project off the ground.
Since we started on the project, I found it very interesting because I learned a lot about, especially the invisible disabilities.
It was about the journey of the project, not necessarily the product. So when we talked about maybe creating a logo for all disabilities, Jim was saying, well look, we will embark upon that, but I'm not guaranteeing that this is going to be the end result of the project. So let's concentrate on the project itself. But as a result of, I think, Jim's kind of calming effect and his guidance, definitely the collaborative project did come together, and as a result they did end up with what we consider to be a universal logo for people with disabilities.
To think that we came from virtually nothing to this. It's amazing. Everybody put a lot of work into it, from Anne from the start, who drove the project all the way through the end, building people's confidence, getting them excited. It was absolutely amazing, and this is what we ended up with, and we are all so proud of everyone.
I don't like saying the word disability, to be honest, because I don't believe in disability, I believe in capability. But I have to say, I'm sitting here now today, and I feel as good today as I did on that day, because each person that put a bit of work into it is now being recognised for being capable of something that they were at the start feeling down about. They were feeling neglected and not seen, not represented. And today they've all had a voice, and they've all had, even if it's just a picture of them taken, it's another step forward with a piece that started off from being down in the dumps to bringing them into a happy environment, that they're achievers. They're all achievers. They're all able to achieve.
Did you learn anything about yourselves during your project?
I love toilets.
In this line of work, we are constantly learning. Do you know what I mean? It's a learning experience for everybody, for staff, for clients, for everybody. So we all learned a lot by doing this project. Do you know what I mean? You know, you learn that, you know, when somebody goes into a toilet, whether they have a wheelchair with them or not, do you know what I mean, their feelings on it. Do you know what I mean, that they were discriminated against for going into, like, the accessible toilet.
Their disability didn't hold them back, and it doesn't hold them back, and that's what we're about here, that they will, within this community, will have a voice and show their abilities, not their disabilities.